Shore residents that love good food are making.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's...
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd.
Pardon the technical difficulties. That rubber band with the Band-Aid holding it down with the gum, with the assist, it came undone. Actually, all kidding aside, there's a little mouse with a stick we have hooked to his back that goes out in front of his head. We have a little chunk of cheese hanging off of a little piece of string, and it chases the cheese. And we put it on this little treadmill, which powers up the 286 computer, which we are dialing up at 14,400. And things got a little slow. That mouse got tired. He fell off the wheel. He got the cheese.
Fatigue gets the best of us at times.
Yep. What's up, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X?
What's good, Corey? Just landed that plane, like you said, so doing a lot better now.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
How about this gorgeous weather continuing? We peaked out today around 80-ish.
How about it? Love it.
Well, a little partly cloudy out there. We're going to roll with this weather for the next week and a half. In Mario's native land, Kenner, they call it a siesta. Kenner should be like, I don't know, Mario Brothers, South Kenner for sure should be called like Little Honduras, huh?
Yeah, you brought that up a couple weeks ago. I think that we need to get that going.
I think Little Honduras.
Yeah, Little Tegucigalpa. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Something like that.
Little Hondo, something good.
Yes.
Something that not land of Latin X, something that actually, the people would like.
And I'm Guatemalan, and for soccer season, maybe I wouldn't be so nice to Honduranians, but for now, I will acknowledge that they're probably a majority of Kenner, Latinos.
Oh, but Hondurans specifically.
Honduran specifically,
yeah,
yes.
Like 9 out of 10 Latinos, I would say, are Honduran in New Orleans. Is that fair to say?
About
8 out of 10,
something like that. Definitely the majority.
Yeah, definitely the clear majority.
Yes.
And then what's next? I mean, I guess it's kind of a split between Guatemala, Venezuela.
Yeah. There's a lot of Venezuelans.
Yeah, some Brazilians now.
Yeah, a lot of Central American flair. You'll see a lot of like Nicaraguans and Salvadoranians too.
Yep. El Salvador represented, no doubt. But the vast majority Hondurans. So, yeah, I don't know. Latin Kenner, Little Honduras, whatever. Yeah, something. Because South Kenner is, I mean, you drive down the street and you see a bunch of business signs and they're all in Spanish. It's very similar to the Far East in New Orleans East. That's all Vietnamese. Tuesday edition of the program, 2 big hours coming your way, including the 4 o'clock hour, brought to you by Lebanon's Cafe. I picked up Lebanon's Cafe today for lunch, and I was just there Sunday for lunch. 2 days later, no problem. You can get lamb chops. You can get chicken, shish kebab, lamb, shish kebab, beef, shrimp, shish kebab. Do a combo, 2 of the 4. All those great Middle Eastern sides, healthy for you. Part of a good diet. Tastes great, fresh, authentic. So good. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette, right by the streetcar barn. Couple of things to take note about Lebanon's besides how good the food is and how authentic it is and all the goodies I just mentioned. Outdoor dining with this weather. It's ridiculous. It's gorgeous outside. They've got the wrought iron tables under the green awning, under the oak trees, right on the streetcar line. Carrollton Avenue, where it's 1 lane in each direction. Carrollton at Jeanette, almost at the river bend, the Carrollton section of Uptown. So outdoor dining with this fantastic weather at Lebanon's Cafe. Plus, they're open till 9:30 tonight. They're open 9:30 every night, 7 days a week. They open up at 11 a.m. and they roll straight through till 9:30. They're open right now. Outdoor dining, Lebanon's Cafe till 9:30. Carrollton at Jeanette by the Streetcar Barn. You know where they are. You know where they bees. You know where they at. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Conservative voice Brian Haldane's going to join us from Baton Rouge in less than 10 minutes right here on the program. A lot to discuss with Brian. We do it every Tuesday in the 4 o'clock hour. Conservative voice Brian Haldane. Check him out on Twitter, X. You can also check out the radio program. I think it's on Facebook. Every weekday morning, 6 to 9 a.m., conservative-leaning talk with Brian Haldane out of Baton Rouge. He's just a few minutes away. The cubes are out. The cubes are out. Mario Brothers, forget about education, economy, crime, infrastructure. Forget about the new mayor and the city trying to catch up to these other metropolitan areas with their booming economies and the like. All that is unimportant. What is of vital importance to each and every one of us, babies and senior citizens included, the cubes are out at Jazz Fest. No comment, Mario Brothers?
Oh, Jazz Fest is the greatest. I was producing the show last year. It was actually my first time going as a 30-year-old, which is kind of crazy living in New Orleans my whole life. But I enjoyed the hell out of it, man.
Nice.
I'm trying to get back out there this year.
Oh, yeah, you'll get back out there.
Hopefully not as hot. The heat was definitely an issue last year.
Sometimes it can be stifling.
Yeah.
You know, when you go get the beer, the box of beer, you got to tip and get some ice from those folks and just put a big blob of ice on your head.
I wore a big Hawaiian themed Pelican shirt that was 3 sizes too big because it was so hot. Might have to bring that out again if we get the same weather.
Yeah, you got to wear the right garb. And I mean, I don't know, unless you just can handle the sun. I think a big old hat just to keep you cool.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yep.
Get stylish with it.
Yep. You got that right. Yeah, the cubes are out for Jazz Fest. Jazz Fest 4 weeks from Thursday. Weekend number 1's 4 weeks from Thursday, 30 days away. We now know, well, I shouldn't say we now know. We knew the acts. We now know which stages, which days, which times. The cubes are out for Jazz Fest. Yeah, French Quarter Fest, 3 weeks from Thursday, 23 days away. 3 weeks from this Thursday. Then the following week is Jazz Fest number 1 and the Zurich Classic. And then the weekend after that is the second week of Jazz Fest. So it's really 3 straight weeks. French Quarter Fest, Jazz Fest weekend 1, Jazz Fest weekend 2. And Jazz Fest weekend 1 right in the middle of French Quarter Fest and the second week of Jazz Fest. The Zurich Classic, the Golf Classic on De Best Bank. It's amazing what the 4Kids Foundation has done, what the Zurich sponsorship has done, how it's a perfect fit. They're a European company. They love the European masterpiece that is New Orleans. All the money, it's $3+ million given back to charities. No, the crowds are record crowds. And it's Mario Brothers and yours truly are the team that are playing out there. I mean, it doesn't attract the biggest stars. Rory won the thing a couple years ago. No doubt. I loved it. It was great for the tournament. It didn't really spike it the next year. We were also hopeful they were going to run around and say how much fun New Orleans was. Those guys are from Ireland. Of course they love New Orleans. Rory and Lowry. They love New Orleans. They're going to Houston and, Phoenix, Denver. They're going just these American cities that are just sort of redundant to Europeans. They come to New Orleans wow, something different, something unique. No, just sadly, the pros aren't in love with the golf course. And the team format is, I don't want to say a desperate act. I think it was a good kind of gimmick to pull when they did it. And now it seems to be running its course a little bit. But in spite of that, in spite of not a stellar field every year that it's like record crowds, and they know how to do it. They do it right. Other PGA tournaments have followed what New Orleans has done over the last few decades and copied it, from the food to the concerts, all of it. So no, the Zurich really getting it done. I mean, I wish they would do what they're supposed to do, invest, $10 million or so into the City Park South course, move the tournament there. Go back to regular, anyone can win it, not a non-team play format. Anyway, but in spite of that, the Four Kids Foundation, the charity that runs the tournament, and Zurich Classic, the main sponsor, the title sponsor, no, it's kind of typical New Orleans. It's like having Saints in NBA, and they're a couple of the worst teams right now in both leagues, respectively. Still getting it done with like an inferior product. Audubon Gutters, getting it done for 35 years. All they do are gutters. They don't paint. They don't do roofs or siding or windows. No construction. They do gutters, and gutters exclusively. For your home or for your business, you go with the experts, Drew and his crew, audubongutters.com. The Gulf South's largest, most experienced gutter installation company, audubongutters.com. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Coming right back, New Orleans.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife, since 1971. On Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years. Serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
This is a hell of a lot easier than when I delivered pizza in New Orleans. What the hell? We're all just blocking the street. We're all just blocking the street. Come on, I gotta deliver this pizza. We're all just blocking the street. Screw it. We won't stop blocking the street. Yeah, stop blocking the street.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
We, of course, are a New Orleans-based program. It is Lent. Lots of Catholics in New Orleans. I'm telling you, the steak knife in Lakeview. I'm almost laugh when I say it. I'm sending you to a restaurant during Lent in New Orleans, Catholic community. I'm sending you to a restaurant called the Steak Knife. A lot of folks have been to the Steak Knife. They've been around for 55 years, since 1971. Generations and generations of New Orleanians have enjoyed the Steak Knife. There's a lot of people that have not been for decades. 10, 15, 20 years last time we went to the Steak Knife. And then there's some people listening that have heard of the Steak Knife in Lakeview on Harrison Avenue, but have never been. And then there are a few of you out there that have never even heard of the Steak Knife. Yeah, the Steak Knife restaurant during Lent. There are about 40 menu items, from appetizers to soup, salad, entrees, steaks, and sides. About 40 items total. Around 33 of them are Lent ready, including the crab meat au gratin, the shrimp remoulade, the smoked salmon, the catfish des almonds, the seafood gumbo, salads with crab meat and avocado, entrees like the Gulffish Robert, probably speckled trout with some jumbo Louisiana lump crab meat on top, the crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree, the Steak Knife tonight for dinner in Lakeview for Lent. The Steak Knife, Harrison Avenue, in between Canal Boulevard and City Park. So good. I love the Steak Knife. That creamy Italian salad dressing is some of the best salad dressing you'll ever have. That homemade creamy Italian at the Steak Knife. Wow. Good stuff. Conservative voice Brian Haldane out of Baton Rouge joins us again on the program. What you say, Brian?
What's going on, Corey? How you been?
Good, man. Enjoying this wonderful spring-like weather. It actually is spring.
It has been nice. And yeah, I'm almost, well, I'm not going to say I'm missing the rain because I know we're going to get it back soon enough. But yeah, it's been pleasant.
Yeah, I mean, I have been missing the rain a little bit. It seems like we're like in drought conditions for like the last year and a half or so. But you nailed it. We'll get rain soon enough. And the summer heat and humidity's on the way, no doubt.
So gross.
Yep. Hey, speaking of LSU spring football, that's as popular a topic as anything we could discuss around these parts.
Dude, day one today, man. I didn't make it out there. I mean, we have a sports station that's connected with us, so
yep.
All the ESPN guys go out. As I understand it, it was I don't know how you can be impressive on day one because it's day one. You know, you're not really in pads, you're not really hitting anybody, you're not really doing anything except walking through drills. But as I understand it, all the new faces, all the fresh faces are impressive physical frames.
No, I was talking to Mario Brothers, aka Latinx, yesterday. I've said it before. Just I call the recruiting class and the transfer portal, all of it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be one of the most impressive classes ever. Like the recruiting class, the high school kids are, top 10 class. And then this transfer portal's the largest, most talented transfer portal class probably in the history of the portal. From top to bottom. I mean, there's not like weak players on it. There's some real strong ones on the front end. About 2/3 of the roster is going to be new. Mario made a great point. He's like, yeah, it's Lane Kiffin getting these new players to play as a team. That's the key. But there's an absurd amount of talent on the roster, like overnight via the transfer portal and about 15, 16 players from recruiting.
Well, I got to play the old man for just a second because it is weird to look up a roster and be like, I don't know any of these guys. I have no idea who these guys are. I actively clocked out of the transfer portal just because it was every hour, every minute, more news about, what 19 to 20-year-old is packing up, leaving one school, going to another as a hired gun. And eventually I was like, you know what? This isn't college football. I'll dial back in for spring. I dialed back in for spring, and I feel like the opening scenes of Major League. Who are these guys?
Oh, no, you're right. I'm in the same boat. I leave that up to Mike Scarborough and Tiger Bait and places like that to handle the recruiting and the transfer portal. But I would just watch the names come over the ticker per se and see what schools LSU beat out for these players, how highly they were ranked, how highly they, were ranked in at their old school, the old conference, what they achieved. So there's just a hell of a lot of 4 and 5 star top tier talent on the LSU campus. I mean, you could argue as much as there's ever been right now. It's a bunch of, like you said, I don't know half these damn players' names. Like, it's like the cornerback who's going to go in the first round, DeLon from LSU. It's like one and done. Where'd that kid come from? Like West Virginia or something? I don't know where he came from. I can't keep up on all this, but there's an absurd amount of talent. Lane Kiffin, just a lot of anticipation in year one right away, Brian. I thought Lane Kiffin might get a little time, but I think there's an expectation to win right away.
Not at these prices, no. With the amount they're spending on this roster, and that's the sad part about it, Corey. There's no guarantees on anything, right? So you take Lane Kiffin and what he's being paid, and throw in the coins from the sofa from still paying off 2 previous coaches, and then you add a $30 to $40 million roster on top of it. No, there's no honeymoon there. You got to win today.
And I mean, brings the quarterback class is empty, and then in a week or two, he's got 3 quarterbacks, couple pretty highly touted. Just every position of need, they seem to really go get players. Yeah, I think the expectation to win is right away. But Mario and I were talking yesterday, and he's like, 9-3 is probably the number in year one, and everybody should be ecstatic about that. I almost think that's like too low of a number. I think folks are expecting 10 or 11 wins, and that's probably a ridiculous expectation considering where LSU was last year and the conference they play in and the competition in that conference.
No, 100% agree. I 100% agree with that. And that's the other part of it is, okay, that's great. We've made this investment for this year, but as a state, as an alumni base, as a populace, can we afford to keep up in this arms race moving forward? I mean, this is, the U.S. versus the Soviets, except there's like 20 sides that are trying to participate. And if you're not spending more every single day, then you're going to fall behind. And I don't know that we have the means behind us. There's only so many big name guys out there, so many, 3 comma guys out there that have LSU behind their name. So yeah, we can pony up for a year, maybe 2. But long-term investment-wise, I don't know that we see this sustained like this.
I don't know. I mean, in other states, it's usually like some billionaire that foots the bill. Oregon, Nike, Boone Pickens at Okie State or something like that. I was going to thank you and Mario Brothers, everybody watching and listening to the program, for helping to build the LSU roster. Apparently, a lot of the money comes from injury attorneys. So they're pulling a few dollars out of everybody's pockets with the erroneous lawsuits, the embellished, exaggerate, even outright lie claims. So in essence, indirectly, Brian, the citizens of Louisiana are making these injury attorneys rich and wealthy, and they're footing the bill for LSU.
I mean, well, at least we could rest a little better knowing where the money's going, right?
Yeah, and Raising Cane's. Todd Graves is worth $22 billion. He's probably doing a lot of that funding as well. I see a lot of athletes, hawking the cane sauce.
Yeah, Todd Graves' name comes up. Gordon's name comes up a lot. There's a handful of other names that are exceeding that beyond compare number, but it's not like you're going to see at other schools. I mean, remember when we lost Bryce Underwood year before last?
Yep.
Because Larry Ellison just rolled in and cut a check that didn't even affect his bank account by a percentage point.
But then they just landed that left tackle from Colorado over Oregon, and everybody was saying, oh, Oregon's going to outbid LSU, and maybe did outbid LSU.
I mean, yeah, we got him. And so as I understand it, he looks amazing. He's already leaned down just a little bit, gotten stronger, gotten quicker for the upcoming season. So,
I think LSU can compete because there's enough people to put up money. And I was only half joking about the injury attorney gimmick. And also in Louisiana, Brian, LSU athletics are more important than LSU academics. It's like Brian Kelly when he slipped up and was like, at Notre Dame, they're building the academic building. At LSU, they're going to give and get the football team right. You know, he was right when he said that, Brian Kelly. Different priorities at LSU.
Well, and think about this, though, Corey. Is it if you reverse the priorities, would you be building a more wealthy alumni base to give you more money to feed into the football team?
No, that's a good point. You might be drawing some academics over to the football side if academics were as good as athletics.
Well, we're about to break ground on a $53 million library, so I guess that's something.
No, that's something. It's long overdue. That's going to be nice. The new library, and that's $53 million, and then they'll spend 10 times that on a basketball arena. That's coming, about $500 million. $500 million. But yeah, that's going to be private equity paying for that and owning the building.
Yeah, those aren't taxpayer dollars right there. Our Lady of the Lakes or Franciscan missionaries of Our Lady is putting their name on that. And that's going to serve a greater purpose in that it's not just for the basketball arena. Baton Rouge is looking to reinsert itself as a concert venue.
Yes. No, it's true. There's a reason Baton Rouge gets overlooked. It has a lot to do with the build of these arenas, being able to hang things from the ceiling, and the PMAC and the Centroplex just are way outdated for that type of stuff. So concerts bypass Baton Rouge now.
Because you've got the Smoothie King Center on one side, you've got the Cajun Dome on the other side, and we're never going to compete with New Orleans for as a major concert venue just because of size of market. But we could box out Lafayette for sure.
No, and become a viable market with the right facility. Those private equity folks know that. That's why they're if they could go build the building up on Airline Highway or something or downtown, but hooking it to LSU is genius. That using that Texas model, everyone seems to win with that model. Hey, Brian, hang on. We're going to knock out a quick break. Come right back. Conservative voice Brian Haldane's with us. Corey Johnson with you. The 4 o'clock hour continues on a Tuesday.
49 years in a row. Ford F-150, #1 truck in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarque team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarque Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And
you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
If it's a weekday afternoon in New Orleans, it's got to be
It's a party every week, baby. Check it out.
Corey Johnson.
Yeah, you right. Welcome back. Brian Haldane, Conservative Voice, is with us on the program. Hey, Brian, ICE agents at Louis Armstrong International Airport. I don't think that would be a problem with, having the TSA folks not there and bringing in ICE agents. I think the problem is about 50% of that agency now, a bunch of unqualified whack jobs, and then sort of that overzealous crackdown that went awry. Hopefully they'll be able to handle the job, have the mental capacity to handle the job.
So I understand there was a story about some shouting match today. Is that what I got?
Yeah, they had a cop yelling at some people that were getting impatient, I guess, having to wait, and his chief backed him on him yelling at the passengers.
Okay, but that had nothing to do with an ICE agent, though, right?
No, not at all. No, local police. Yep.
And so we're 2 days in on the ICE agents. Is there a report card yet on how they're doing?
No, I think they're either just arriving or there's not enough time where they've been on the job. But yesterday it was more of a, ICE agents being sent to Louis Armstrong International.
Yeah. Well, my favorite part, like the social media fallout with this, is the number of people out there who believe that ICE agents are going to be trying to deport people from the airport. Like, this was their plan all along. Well, let's break that down for a couple of different reasons. Number one, you're in an airport. Everyone has their papers. And number two, the ICE agents are on the departure part. I don't see a world where ICE agents would try to deport somebody who's already leaving.
What do you think about this shutdown? You had that jet landing at New York City's LaGuardia Airport late Sunday night, runs into a fire truck on the runway. 2 pilots are dead. I mean, they had about 76 people on that plane. Lucky that only 2 perished. That's 2 too many. Dozens injured. This government shutdown just seems dangerous, and both sides seem to be at fault. Brian, am I missing something?
Both sides seem to be at fault for the shutdown?
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, the Republicans have made concessions on a number of different angles. I was talking with Congressman Carter this morning, and he was like, their demands for ICE. He laid out 4 demands for ICE. Everybody wears a name tag. Nobody wears a mask. Everybody wears a body cam, and you don't kick in doors without a warrant. And I'm like, well, right from jump, 2 of those are very conservative things. The body cam and the warrant, I don't see anybody having a problem with that. I do understand the masking part, because we're in a hyper-pitched society right now where if you're an ICE agent and you're wearing a name tag and you have your face shown, you're going to get doxxed and your family's going to get hurt. I get that. But like the other 2 seem like pretty reasonable talking points. So I know there's been concessions made by the right. They've come out with a new deal, like a refresh deal twice already. I don't know. The longer this goes on, I think the original intent of it gets displaced.
No, I think we got lucky that in that sad 2 pilots are dead.
Yeah.
An Air Canada plane is snapped in half sitting on the, runway at LaGuardia in New York City.
That's pegged to the shutdown because
No. I mean, arguably, because they had a dozen TSA working instead of 17 that night. There was either the fire truck. I guess the fire truck was supposed to have some system that's at the airport that would tell you there's a plane on the runway, that you can't drive on the runway right now. That wasn't hooked up or didn't go off in the truck. The air traffic controllers might have been, stressed out because there were only a dozen working instead of 17. One guy was doing like local and the tower and local when it's supposed to be two different people. So they haven't specifically said that has anything to do with it. But obviously when you have TSA workers not working or not showing up for work or less in the position than you're supposed to have, doing more than they're usually doing. No, I think
we always think of TSA in the front of house where we interact with them as customers.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm saying TSA. I should say the people in the tower, the people, that are running the airport.
You've heard the recording with the guy yelling, "You need to stop! You need to stop! You need to
Yeah,
stop!"
kind of like after the fact,
Oh, was it?
A little late, and it's like, and the truck did stop. They're arguing now instead of stop. They should have been said. There's something about not being on the runway at all, like abort the runway or something, that some technical term that would have been like, don't get the truck on the runway at all, and him saying stop is like lock up the brakes. So there's no definitive connection to any of it, but I think it's pretty obvious. You got a stressed out tower crew, understaffed, and some of this has to do with the government shutdown. And it seems that we were lucky that 2 pilots were killed. I mean, it's sad to say that when there were 76 on that plane, it could have been everybody dead.
Right. Well, tower crew should be FAA.
Yeah, that's FAA. You're right.
So once you talk about the people on the ground, I'm sure there's gaps there as well. But as far as the people that were shouting the message over the thing, that's not on TSA's end. How were wait times today? Did you get a report on how wait times were today at Armstrong?
I have no idea. Just we know what we know from the last week. They've been ridiculous, like hours, people missing flights. I mean, most of the airports where they are sending the ICE agents are major airports. I think it's like 14 of them. Louis Armstrong's like the outlier, sort of that second level, the second tier, not major, but the second level. And so, no, it's kind of weird that we have one of the highest numbers, if not the highest number of TSA people not coming into work. And also that ICE agents have to come to New Orleans because of that. So it's interesting.
Well, I'm curious to see if they have any dip in wait times, because you look at what the TSA agents do on the front end, and on the end where they interact with us, and I believe there's room for ICE to be able to help out there.
Oh no, definitely.
The lines are
no more personnel.
Go where they need to go.
It's not going to be as efficient as if you had the full TSA staff there, because it's new people doing a new job. But it's got to be more efficient than what we've had the last week.
Well, but it's also got to be a blow to the ego for the ICE agent. One day you're hunting down the cartel, the next day you're fetching gray bins.
No, exactly. Take off your shoes. I guess they don't have to do that anymore. But yeah, waving a wand, whatever could be happening. Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah. Brian Haldane's with us, conservative voice. Hey, Brian, speaking of the airport, they look like they're going to expand Louis Armstrong. New Orleans is trying to land the 2031 Super Bowl. I think an expansion of Louis Armstrong, this 1,000+ room Omni Hotel by the Convention Center, those are sort of promises to the NFL, I think, is part of the deal to bring the game here.
So if anybody can pull all of it off, it's New Orleans and Company. It's Walt Leger and his outfit. I'm a big fan of New Orleans and Company. They do remarkable work. I don't know how much the day-to-day operations is. Are you just going to have it blown out for the airport or for the Super Bowl, and then you've got like an empty wing, an empty row of gates?
No, it's needed. The Super Bowl is just sort of the incidental, believe it or not, for the airport, but it benefits the NFL. More flights, more gates. They like it. They like that the city's got a pulse. And then this Omnia Hotel, they just want like a refresh of the hotel rooms. That they're talking about that hotel, some smaller ones being built, and then hotels getting renovated, existing hotels getting renovated. It's all part of the deal. And to be honest with you, it's sort of in a natural economy, it would be happening anyway. So the NFL kind of kickstarting us in the direction we need to go in. I don't mind it.
No, look, anytime to upgrade tourism in New Orleans, it is the number one industry. So, it's what we're known for. And I say we, like, I'm an hour up the road, but it's what we're known for worldwide. I mean, the city's tagline is built to host, and they live up to it every single year.
The Pelicans aren't very good and the Saints aren't very good, Brian. But Gail Benson's loyal and dedicated to New Orleans. You get some wild card owner that's strictly looking at the dollars to build me a new basketball arena or I'm moving my NBA franchise. Gail Benson's a little more reasonable, kind of understands the economy of the city and state. Some plans for a possible redo of the Smoothie King Center were released.
What would that look like?
It's mostly aesthetic stuff, like a better fan experience, more glass, outdoor light coming in, just a better looking building, busting out some walls, putting in glass and the like. But the main thing for the Pels, one of the biggest problems was the lower bowl seating. There wasn't enough of it compared to the rest of the NBA. And the lower bowl is where you make all your money with the, club seats and the like. So right now they have 7,100, which is one of the smallest, if not the smallest in the entire NBA. And they'll go from 7,100 to like 9,300. They'll gain 2,200 lower bowl seats. So I think that's just a lot of profit that Gail Benson and the Pelicans can make. And that's really what it's all about, increasing the lower bowl seats. Everything else is just, making it nicer for the fans, and we're going to charge you more for tickets.
Well, I mean, if those new tickets are in the lower bowl, they need to go up. But I mean, my problem with the Smoothie King Center is that upper deck. That is so steep, Corey. If you've got any inkling of vertigo at all, you're done for.
Oh, and that I think is going to remain untouched. I think if you bust out one side of the upper deck to redo the arena that way, like almost a total gut job in the inside, you're at probably $500-600 million. I'm thinking this is going to be like a $250 million renovation top, somewhere between like 175 and 250. I'm guessing.
I mean, okay.
Yeah. So no, I guess if you got vertigo, you better buy in the lower bowl.
Well, and you talk about the Pelicans stinking. Corey, they're 6-4 in their last 10, man.
No, they're playing better. There's no doubt. There's some hope. There's hope for sure. Brian Haldane's with us, conservative voice. You can join us, 766-9480. Hey, it's crawfish season. You need crawfish tonight for your crawfish boil, live by the sack, Rouse's Markets. You don't want to deal with that. You just want to peel, eat, and enjoy. Hot from the pot from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Rouse's Markets. No one sells more live crawfish by the sack. No one sells more hot-boiled crawfish than your Rouse's Markets. It's crawfish season. Live by the sack, hot from the pot, your Rouse's Markets.
49 years in a row. Ford F-150, #1 truck in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. Because the Lamarque team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarque Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole-Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and
You'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Uptown, Carrollton, Riverbend, Holly Grove, Gerttown, Gentilly, Lakefront, West Bank, Lakeview. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Brian Haldane's with us, conservative voice out of Baton Rouge. Hey, Brian, how can folks check you out every weekday morning, 6 to 9 a.m.?
I am on Facebook Live down there. Facebook Live, Talk 107.3 FM's Facebook page is where you're going to find me. I'm also on YouTube at the Talk 107.3 Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Of course, in Baton Rouge, if you're passing through, we're on the air on Talk 107.3 FM, and anywhere you want to, you can download the Talk 107.3 app.
Boy, Brian, gas prices are high. Super unleaded is north of $4 a gallon. Diesel is approaching $5 a gallon.
So which one has you more worried?
What, between gas or diesel?
Yeah.
I don't, neither one I'm more worried about. Just I lump them all together in fuel costs. They're very expensive. Gas is, I mean, that E85 crap, that flex fuel is, $3 a gallon.
Yeah. Even that one's getting a little too far north. But to me, it's the diesel prices, Corey, because gas prices go up. It costs me to get more from point A to point B. Diesel prices go up. Everything else in the world costs more.
You're talking about trucks.
Transported by truck is diesel.
Yeah, I don't know what the trucks pay for. I think they run on a different diesel. I don't know but it's probably similar in price. You're right. It's probably similar in price to the diesel that you're pumping at the gas station for your car.
Yeah, I don't know where they would have any kind of special, I mean, you see you see the truck stops at the interstate exits and whatnot. I mean, that's where a lot of them are filling up, is like the Loves and the Flying J's and all that other good stuff, and it's getting pricier and pricier.
Yep. Yeah, no doubt. I didn't even think about it the way you were asking. No, it's definitely consumers paying more, and then the 18-wheelers are going to pay more, and that's obviously going to get pushed on to consumers via higher pricing for the products.
Yeah, I mean, whether you're talking about just it's something simple as shopping for your groceries, it's whatever it is that you're buying. It came somewhere on a truck, and that truck had diesel fuel in it.
Did I read correctly? We have 3 million alligators in Louisiana. 3 million.
I think you did read that correctly. We have done such a remarkable job as a state to take the alligator from being endangered to once again being a nuisance. We need to give ourselves a good pat on the back for that, Corey.
What, the alligator was endangered in Louisiana at one time?
It was whatever that level is next to endangered. It wasn't quite endangered.
Yeah,
It
like
was
threatened.
on the watch list or whatever.
Yeah,
It was,
threatened.
he wasn't in the top 25. It was others receiving votes.
I don't know why we hunt the black bear. When population's like 1,200, it's not like
Tell
it's.
you what, move to new roads and you'll understand in a hurry.
No, I guess, yeah. If you have a farm and the bear is coming in there and killing your animals.
Yeah. Well, just ransacking your place, rummaging through things, using your Netflix without permission. They're a problem.
I mean, I guess if you're physically in danger and it's at your house, you can shoot that bear and that would be justified. But a bear hunt just seems, I don't know. I don't get the point. But whatever. I think it's all political
it's the more
theater.
rural parts of the state for sure.
I think it's all political theater.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. The bear hunting thing. Yeah. I mean, it was like we got license plates that are to save the bear. Like he's on the endangered species list, like under 1,000. And now he's at 1,200, like problem solved. It's like, I don't think the problem's solved. Leave the black bear alone in Louisiana. There are only 1,200 of them. What's the point?
There's a heavy anti-bear lobby out there.
No, I don't think there's any anti-bear lobby. Now, if there is, they don't have enough, moolah to move the needle. They're not taking politicians to Ruth's Chris or donating to their campaign.
No, that's how many well, it's what, like 24 permits or something.
I don't
like
even
that
think
for
it's
black
that
bear?
many. I think it's like 10 or 12, maybe 15 tops. I don't think it's even 24. I think it was like 10 or 12.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those ones where I plead ignorance because I live in a city.
Oh, no, me too. I want a steak. I go to the grocery and tip the butcher $5 for him cutting me one.
Right. I don't live in a place where I'm going to have a bear show up at a pool party.
No, exactly. No doubt.
So,
no doubt.
But with the alligators, man, we're looking. So there's a bill right now in the state legislature, and I'm kind of in the thick of it with the legislature when the sausage being made phase of things. There's a bill right now to move the alligator hunting to recreational. So tags are just going to be flying out left and right if you even need tags at all.
What is it right now?
There's a certain number of tags that are allotted to a certain number of alligator hunters or hunters, farmers, whatever you want to call them. There's a certain number of tags allotted every single year.
Gotcha. They would just open it up to anyone who wanted to go hunt alligator could do it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like if you're on Side Airline Highway in Norco, look at that little canal that's right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna see two of them every time you drive down that way.
Yep. You could accidentally shoot a frog. You got to make sure those two eyes are a gator.
That's a big old frog.
Yep. Hey, Brian, any final thoughts till we do it again next week? U.S. talks with Iran. I hope this thing gets worked out already. It's ridiculous.
Well, I've been saying the same thing every week, Corey, and it's getting closer to that deadline right there. The president said 4 weeks, and if you mark it on the calendar, that's next week. So next week would be the time where I think a lot of people are starting to get antsy about getting out of there and getting done.
That TACO acronym makes sense a lot of the time. Better open the strait. And now, okay, you got a few more days to open the strait. So something's got to happen soon.
I've got my eye on it for sure. And I know what my take has been. I'm ready to fully eat crow on that one.
Well, I mean, when it was first announced and, and U.S.-Israel partnership, I wasn't against it at all. I was in the minority. The majority of Americans were against it. I think they were thinking more clearly. Maybe I was like emotional, like this thing's going to go like Nicaragua and end really quickly. And all I thought about, is like LSU winning a national championship in football next year. That's all I saw. I saw, Iran, college students, rising up, the army, military kneeling down, and a new democracy. We'll see.
Well, that's where I was at too. I mean, we had the conversation about Iran in the 60s, what it used to be like before the Ayatollah took over.
Yep. So. Brian, always a pleasure, man. See you next week.
Likewise, Corey. We'll talk to you then.
That's conservative voice Brian Haldane joining us on the program. Hey, we are heading into April soon. 2026 is just blowing by. Last year seemed like a week ago. You were talking about a new job, a new career. Latrim.com, the website at Latrim, has a full listing of positions available. East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, they got you covered at Latrim. It's not like 3 or 4 job openings. It's dozens and dozens and dozens of job openings. Go to their website right now, Latrim.com. That's Blue Boy saying stick around. 5 o'clock powwow is next. Don't move, New Orleans. A lot more coming your way.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
49 years in a row. Ford F-150, #1 truck in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. The 5 o'clock power hour is upon us. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks so much for joining us. But first, Mr. Drew Brees. He's correct as usual. Hey, the 5 o'clock powwow on this Tuesday afternoon brought to you by Kiefer and Kiefer, a New Orleans law firm for decades, family run. Nat Kiefer Sr., the senator that got the UNO Lakefront Arena built, that helped get the Superdome built. The UNO Lakefront Arena is actually the Senator Nat Kiefer Sr. UNO Lakefront Arena. That's the official name, the legal name of the building. He started a law firm. His son, Nat Kiefer Jr., joined the firm just a couple of years out of law school. And Nat Kiefer Jr.'s daughter, Megan, is probably the biggest attorney in the firm today. 3 generations now. KieferandKiefer.com. KieferandKiefer.com when you have a real legal issue and you need real attorneys. People with experience. KieferandKiefer.com. I said this last hour. I'll say it again. Forget about the economy. Forget about infrastructure, education, or crime. All is good in New Orleans. The Cubes are out for Jazz Fest. Good evening, everyone. That's the show, Mario. We're done. That's the only announcement we need to make.
Sounds good to me.
The Cubes are out for Jazz Fest. We'll see you tomorrow, 4 o'clock.
Start the tailgate right now.
Let's party, Mario. Bust open the liquor.
Oh, is there somebody you're particularly excited to see at Jazz Fest? I know Earth, Wind, and Fire is going to be in town. Any opportunity to see them in 2026?
What's that band? Damn, I'm trying to think. The Black Keys?
The Black Keys, yeah.
I think they're playing. I'm going to go check them out.
Yeah, they're really good live, I heard.
Yeah, no, I bet they're really good live.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, Buddy and I, he really wants to go. I want to go check them out, so going to go check them out. So I'll definitely be at one day of Jazz Fest. Sometimes I make one day each weekend. A few years ago, I didn't go one day. And then usually I'm not like in 11 a.m. to 7. I'll get there like 1:30 or 2 till 7. Or if I get there early, like 10:30 or 11, I'm out of there by 3 or 4. Hard to do the full day, especially when it's hot and the sun's out. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. Yeah, you're right. The Cubes are out for Jazz Fest. 4 weeks from Thursday, weekend number 1. 4 weeks from Thursday, weekend number 1 of Jazz Fest. 30 days away. It's like a back-to-back-to-back. 3 weeks in a row are going to be explosive in New Orleans. French Quarter Fest is 23 days away, 3 weeks from Thursday. So 3 weeks from Thursday, French Quarter Fest. The next Thursday, weekend 1 of Jazz Fest and the Zurich Classic on the West Bank, the PGA Tour stop. Then the third weekend is weekend 2 of Jazz Fest. So April, the weekend, starting on Thursday, April 16th, French Quarter Fest. A week later, Thursday, April 23rd, Jazz Fest weekend number 1, first round action of the Zurich Classic, the PGA Tour stop on the West Bank. And then a week later, Thursday, April 30th, the second weekend of Jazz Fest starting. So 3 weekends in a row. It starts 3 weeks from Thursday, French Quarter Fest. 4 weeks from Thursday, Jazz Fest weekend 1, Zurich Classic. 5 weeks from Thursday, Jazz Fest weekend number 2. It's a coming. That train's coming down the tracks. It will run you over. French Quarter Fest, Jazz Fest, throwing a little Zurich Classic. Sweet. You know, it's interesting. Zurich Classic, a lot of Jazz Fest folks will go one day to the Zurich Classic and enjoy the hell out of it. Now, some folks are like, man, I go 8 days to Jazz Fest. I'm not giving up a Jazz Fest day to go to Zurich Classic. I go to all 8 days. I hear you. You're hardcore. When there are 4 days of Jazz Fest and 4 days of Zurich Classic, you can squeeze in a day of Zurich Classic, and I promise you'll enjoy it. For a lot of folks, I think at the Zurich Classic, the golf is almost an incidental. It's being outside, the food, the concerts, happen to have a PGA event going on. A lot of people are hardcore golf purists and follow the pros, walk the course. Some folks are barely watching any golf and they check it out. It's almost like minor league baseball to some folks. The sport is almost an incidental. Yep, the Cubes are out for Jazz Fest. Ted's Frost Stop on Claiborne, right across from Tulane, for 70 plus years, since 1955. Tulane apparently bought it, is going to tear it down. And they're going to build an apartment building right there. I guess a few stories.
That's sad. I love Frost Stop. That's one of the OG Frost Stops.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I don't know how many more are there. There was that one on Jefferson Highway by Causeway that Oxnard bought and tore down a few years ago.
I think the closest one to me is in Destrehan. If they still have the one in Destrehan.
I think they still do have the one in Destrehan.
Yeah, the one right there by Clearview on the way here doesn't exist anymore. Got rid of that.
Where was that one? Clearview?
Clearview South, right before you get to, what's that restaurant with the French name? Kind of by EJ, by East Jefferson High School, right there on Clearview South.
Wow, there was a Frost Top down there.
Yeah, it's like a Bully's Burger or something now. They rebranded.
Gotcha.
Recently.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, the OG one in Baton Rouge has been around since like the 50s on Highland.
That's still there?
I think that's still there.
I'm trying to think where that Frost Top is in BR.
That's sad, man. I went to a Tulane game this year, the first one. We actually ate at Frost Top, so that actually kind of.
No, the building's iconic with the the lighting and all that.
I'm sure like that's a staple for Tulane. I mean, I haven't been to many Tulane games, but that's probably a staple because it's right there.
No, it is. But I think it's a loyal breakfast joint. A lot of people in the neighborhood go to that place for breakfast. Like you'll see characters in there, the same people. It's their little spot where they start their day. They're going to build like the ground floor, I think, is going to be parking and some retail. And the anchor tenant is supposed to be Ted's Frost Top. So they'll be in the building, but it'll be a brand new building. The Ted's Frost Stop, as you know it, across from Tulane, will be torn down.
Gotcha. But you can still get a Lotto Burger on the way to the game. If
Yeah,
you want.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Good.
Yep.
Love a good Lotto
And it'll
Burger.
be like 70, apartments or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. Not 70. It's, I think, 39 apartments, and it's for like 140 students, something like that. But Tulane owns it. They're going to build there and say goodbye to Ted's Frost Stop, the physical building, which has been there 71 years, since 1955. But they will be the anchor tenant in Tulane's building. U.S. talks with Iran. I guess. I hope so. That jet landing at New York City's LaGuardia Airport hits a fire truck on the runway late Sunday night. The NTSB investigating. No, we're lucky. Isn't it sad? 2 pilots are dead, and I'm saying we're lucky. No, it could have been a lot worse. There were 76 people on the plane. Only 2 of 76 died. Dozens injured. Could have been worse. It is Tuesday. That means tonight, Tuesday night dinner, Gallagher's 527. I know a lot of you have been going, Corey's been talking about it. We plan on going, and you've never been yet. When are you going to go? Tonight's the night. You don't even need a reservation. They're ready to have you. They're serving crab meat St. Francis right now. Right now. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. 22 minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center to the front door of Gallagher's 527. Right when you cross the bridge, immediately on your right behind the Shell station. No driving on the North Shore, no driving around Mandeville. Immediately when you get across the Causeway Bridge On your right, behind the Shell station, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. No, so good. I've been talking about it for 6-8 months now. One of the finest restaurants. It'd be in my top 8, top 10, top 12 in all of New Orleans. Uptown, Garden District, Warehouse District, French Quarter included. As good as it gets in the metro. And yeah, that crab meat St. Francis, Louisiana jumbo lump crab meat appetizer is as good of a crab meat appetizer dish you will get anywhere. Absolutely delicious. Delicious. I put my reputation on the line talking about Gallagher's 527 and that crab meat St. Francis appetizer. You South Shore folks that go, I often say 2 things. It's really 3 things you're going to say. 1, you're going to be like, Corey's right. It's fantastic. 2, you're going to start going frequently, like every other week at the worst, because it's that good. And you're going to be craving it. And 3, you're going to be like, why didn't I take Corey's advice and come to Gallagher's months ago when he first started talking about it? Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville tonight for dinner. Just so damn good. And those lunch specials. I'm addicted to the shish kebab sizzling in the butter with the green beans. You start off with a big, generous house salad, 6 homemade dressings to choose from, and then that legendary ooey gooey dessert, the hot brownie with the ice cream, $24. A generous house salad, a half dozen homemade dressings to choose from, the shish kebab sizzling in butter, filet tip sizzling in butter with veggies and green beans sizzling in butter right there on the side. And the ooey gooey dessert, $24 at Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville for lunch. Corey Johnson with you. 5 o'clock power hour on a gorgeous Tuesday.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-JC.com, your cool spots.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Young's Dry Cleaning with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville. A New Orleans tradition for over 40 years. Serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Real New Orleans conversation.
No place like New Orleans.
Corey Johnson.
Hey, for all your backyard residential or commercial fencing needs or automatic gate needs, you got to see the Fence Man. East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, River Parishes, anywhere in Metro New Orleans. When you need a fence or automatic gate for your home or business, any property, you got to see the Fence Man. TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com. TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com. It is a Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Corey Johnson back at you. The phone number to dial us up, 766-9480. Learn it, love it, live it. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Watching on TV or on YouTube or Twitter, listening on the radio, dial us up. Love to hear from you. The Cubes are out for Jazz Fest. Absolutely crazy. 4 weeks from Thursday, weekend number one of Jazz Fest. We know the acts. Now the stages, the days, the times are known. You had Jazz Fest 4 weeks from Thursday. 3 weeks from Thursday, French Quarter Fest. Crazy. 3 weeks from Thursday, French Quarter Fest. 4 weeks from Thursday, Jazz Fest weekend number one and the Zurich Classic, the PGA Tour stop on DeBest Bank. And then 5 weeks from Thursday, Jazz Fest weekend number two. Yeah, French Quarter Fest, Jazz Fest, Jazz Fest. 3 weeks straight. Major festivals. You know, 4 days of French Quarter Fest draws larger numbers, a bigger crowd than 8 days of Jazz Fest. 4 days of French Quarter Fest outdraw 8 days of Jazz Fest. Now, you know, Jazz Fest is north of $100 a ticket. French Quarter Fest is free. So that's a big part of it for sure. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday, 766-9480. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, fielding your phone calls. He's also our in-house sports expert. Mario Brothers, high anticipations for LSU football. You know, when Lane Kiffin was hired, the expectations obviously went up. But I don't think they were like, we're expecting you to compete with the rest of the SEC, the top 2 or 3 teams, and be top 2 or 3 in year one. But then that transfer portal class, coupled with the retaining the recruiting class, now the expectation is you got to be in the top 3 or 4 in the SEC in year one. I think the expectation is 10 or 11 wins. When he was hired, it was maybe 8 or 9. It's definitely gone up.
Yeah, it's gone up. It should go up. I just hope LSU fans kind of are patient with him. You know, the thing about Lane, and he's a great coach. He's a good X's and O's coach. He's not a CEO type like Brian Kelly and even Coach O were, right? Like, he's going to go in there. He's going to establish a new offense. He has to pick a quarterback. And then I think the whole season is kind of just getting acclimated to his system. Now, doing that, I think you'll win some games. I think LSU will be in contention. But they just had to be careful with the expectations year one, because this is still a lot of new players. Transfer portal was awesome. High school recruiting is always going to be great.
Yep.
But this was still a 7-5 football team with a broken culture, and he needs to reestablish that culture.
Yeah, I don't think you have the depth, the starter quality of like Georgia right now.
Or the system. Like, Georgia's got Kirby Smart, who's an elite defensive mind. He's implemented his system like for years and years. All I'm saying is that might take a little bit of time. And it took him some time at Ole Miss too. Like, everybody's talking about Ole Miss at the very end, but when he got there, there were a lot of growing pains. LSU is going to have some growing pains.
So
That's all I'm trying to say.
8 and 9 is more 8 or 9 wins is more realistic than 10 or 11 wins.
I think 9-3 would be a very good first season. That's kind of a hot take, unpopular opinion, but 8-4, it would not be good on the surface. People would get mad, but it would literally be progress. That would be a 1-game improvement from the team last year.
Especially if how the games were lost, if it was tight games against the superior teams of the SEC. That might make a difference with 8-4. I think the expectations double digits, Mario, like 10-2, 11-1. That's what LSU fans are expecting, a lot of them, and I think those expectations are a little high.
The last time they won 10 games in a regular season was 2019, the Joe Burrow team. So you're asking like for something that hasn't happened in 7 years when you had the best team of all time.
And you're coming off a 7-5 record.
Yes. So I think LSU made a great hire in Lane Kiffin. I think they're going to get to where they ultimately want to go.
Just tap down the expectations a little.
I'm a little worried that a lot of LSU fans are becoming Auburn fans. Like they're entitled to just being a champion when that hasn't been the case in a very long time. They just have to be realistic about where they're at. Now, the resources that LSU has and Lane Kiffin being your coach, you can get back to the top and rather quickly, but just have a little bit of patience. That's all I'm saying.
That's Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. I have to agree with Mario Brothers on that. But it's hard. I mean, emotionally, Tiger fans are thinking 10, 11 wins. Logically, with the brain, it's 8 or 9. And I think 9-3 would be a really good year, especially when you think about the competition in the Southeastern Conference, playing 9 conference games. This isn't for kids. This is the real deal. Hyper competitive.
And where the rest of the conference is at, Ole Miss lost their coach, but they do have their quarterback coming back.
And they had a great transfer portal.
Yeah, schools like Vanderbilt are really good now. Their coach has been in place for a few years. It took them some time. Like that's all I'm saying. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I think 9 wins and at least being in playoff contention, like most LSU fans would be happy with that.
Yep, no doubt. Hey, every day we're on the radio, on television. You know, TV used to be the first 90 minutes of the 2-hour talk radio program. Now TV, Cox Channel 4 viewers, Spectrum Channel 333 viewers. You get the whole show. We're with you on television till 6 p.m. every weekday afternoon. Yeah, 2 big hours, 4 to 6 on radio, 4 to 6 on television, 4 to 6 on X, a.k.a. Twitter. YouTube, 4 to 6 every weekday afternoon. It's always brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. Ronnie Lamarck from Araby Park, the #1 Ford dealership in Metro New Orleans and beyond. The big store, Lamarck Ford. Going on 50 years, Williams Boulevard at I-10. Lamarck Lincoln, #1 Lincoln dealership in the state. You need a commercial truck, van, or SUV? That's easy. Lamarck Crescent City Ford. That's what they specialize in. Over there on Jefferson Highway, right before the S-curves in Harahan and Elmwood. Lamarck Crescent City Ford, your commercial truck, van, SUV dealer. And yeah, if you're looking for an F-150 or an Explorer or a Mustang, Lamarck Ford. A black label Lincoln SUV, Lamarck Lincoln. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you're right. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X, at the controls. If you'd like to participate in the program, 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. If you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed a lot. Conservative voice Brian Haldane joined us. U.S. talks with Iran. I'm kind of a News Nation guy. That's not Channel 51 on Cox. News Nation. They seem the most balanced. I don't mind the woman who's on before Cuomo, and then I watch Cuomo, and then I watch the guy after Cuomo a little bit. I don't watch like every night. And I don't watch all 3 shows, and I don't watch the entirety of every show. But I catch a little bit here, I catch a little bit there, and I notice I'm on 51 more than anywhere else. I bounce around. I mean, 24 is Fox, I'll go there. 29 is CNN, I'll go there. 51 is News Nation. I go there. 72 is, what is CNBC now? MS1 or something like that. MS something. I forget what it is. That's 72. I watch that. What's kind of the hyper conservative? Is it One American News? No. It's Newsmax. I think Newsmax is on 55 on Cox. So I'll bounce around and just kind of get a little snippet here, a snippet there. Honestly, the one I watch probably the least is Fox, just because I'm not a big fan of the Fox personalities at all. But I mean, more conservative than Fox is Newsmax. They're more conservative than Fox. But I'm not familiar with the personalities, so I'll watch. But yeah, most of the time I notice that, I'll power up the TV, it'll be on 51 already. So News Nation has been winning me over. Anyway, no, I'll check in tonight just to keep up on the United States, this Iran war. Iran just seems very content to get the hell beat out of them if they can just, get one little jab in. I had a friend of mine, and he was a great guy, passed away, but like a psycho in a way, in a good way. I mean, he was a good friend. We're playing on the golf course, and he'd hit a bad shot, and I'd say something like, "Hey, does your husband play?" Something like that. And, most of the time he would just laugh it off. He walked over to me and he said, "I will let you punch me 10 times in the face if I can just punch you once in the face." And I swear it just flashed in front of me. I picture like punching him 10 times and him just laughing at like the 8th punch, like a tooth knocked out and bloody, black eye, maybe a broken nose, and then him just one punch flattening my entire face. Iran seems like 10 punches to 1. They'll take 10 punches in the face if they can just punch the U.S. one time. No, the Strait of Hormuz has to be reopened. We need this war to end. I mean, I didn't get suckered in. When the war started, it's Iran. They had been messing with us, undermining us for 47 years, sponsoring the Houthis, the Hezbollah, Hamas. It's obnoxious. Just everything against America and getting away with it, and then enriching uranium and all of that. So it's like, no, finally, Iran needed to be spayed or neutered. It's ridiculous, just relentless. Worse than China, Russia, or North Korea combined. But also I'm looking at like Nicaragua, and will this just be an easy regime change? And you're thinking about it's like LSU. Boy, they're going to win 10, 11 games next year. Probably not. U.S. going to Iran. The students will rise up. The army will rise down. A new democracy will be born. That's like, the 1 out of 10, the most positive scenario. Now I just want this thing to end in a peaceful way and no U.S. lives get killed. No more.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
At Lamarck Lincoln, ownership isn't complicated. It's effortless. With a one-on-one brand specialist every step of the way, we strive to ensure every guest experience is nothing less than elevated. You'll understand why it's more than ownership. It's membership. Visit Lamarck Lincoln at Williams and I-10 in Kenner. Give us a call at 504-238-4800. That's 504-238-4800. Or visit us online at lamarcklincoln.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Thoughtful conversation, common sense.
Chemtrails! Chemtrails!
Corey Johnson.
You better watch them chemtrails. They're going to get you. They're going to get you. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. I was at the New Orleans Institution today visiting Dale over at Young's Dry Cleaning. They've been at it since 1940, 86 years of excellence. Young's has walk-up locations with personal service. They have free pickup and delivery. They have manless locker locations. They're the best in the business. One less thing to worry about, your dry cleaning. Want it done right? Young'sDryCleaning.com. Young'sDryCleaning.com. Dale is a big fan of that Super Witch ice cream, Mario Brothers. It's been getting me. Speaking of get you, it's going to get you. It's like the crack cocaine of ice cream. I love Creole Creamery.
So Dale loves the chips and the ice cream.
He turned me on to it.
Nice.
And Super Witch is outstanding. You get the ice cream. They'll drop tomorrow at 7 o'clock. When I say drop, at 7 p.m. tomorrow on their website. They'll have somewhere between 4 and 8 different flavors available. You go online tomorrow night at 7. You click on the ones you want. You buy as many pints as you want, and you pay for them tomorrow night. In about 15 to 45 minutes, every single flavor on the website will be sold out. That's tomorrow night at 7. On Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, there are little pickup windows, maybe 2 or 3 hour windows each day, where you can go to their facility on Jefferson Highway at Edwards in a little strip mall and pick up the pints of ice cream that you ordered online Wednesday at 7. So that's for the ice cream. 4 to 8 flavors. You pay by the pint. You pay for them on Wednesday. You pick them up Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's Super Witch Soft Serve, which is their location. It's by the El Supremo Pizza Joint in Old Metairie, which is right next door to the Old Metairie Village Shopping Center. Fosis Street runs along the Old Metairie Shopping Center on the right side if you're coming off Metairie Road, heading towards Canal. One block off is Pink. On the corner of Focis and Pink Street is Il Supremo Pizza. If you walk in Il Supremo Pizza, straight ahead is Il Supremo Pizza. To your right off to the side, in the same storefront, same door, straight ahead, Il Supremo Pizza. To your right, Super Witch soft serve ice cream. Now, Briggs Barrios, who came on this program a few weeks ago, who owns Super Witch, not only does he make great ice cream, he makes great soft serve, and he knows how to bake cookies, apparently, because they bake these chocolate chip cookies, and that's the real gimmick at the soft serve place. You can get just like a scoop or a cup, not a scoop, but, a swirl of the soft serve. The way to go is get one of the warm chocolate chip cookies that was just freshly baked. They're kind of gooey and just chocolatey and great. And then you get one of the 3 flavors of the Super Witch soft serve ice cream on the side. So you're eating the soft serve ice cream and the warm cookie, the warm chocolate chip cookie and the cold soft serve ice cream. Just, it's a winner. No, I posted, they open the soft serve in the Il Supremo Pizza joint is Thursday through Sunday, just 4 days a week. And for just 5 hours each day, 4 to 9, Thursday through Sunday. I pulled up there, I think it was Friday or Saturday night. Well, it couldn't have been Friday. I would have been doing the show. I guess it was Saturday at 4 o'clock. I pull up, it's like 4:03. And I'm just staring at the door because people are going in and out with ice cream and going in to get in line. I pull over, park. I walk in. I think it was 4:07. I was 25th in line. This place had been open 7 minutes. They already had served about a dozen people or more. There were 25 people in line. I was 25th. It only took about 10 minutes. When I got my soft serve and chocolate chip cookie, I'm walking out with it. The line was going out the door. It's amazing. Just super high quality product. Strictly word of mouth and social media has blown it up. He sells out of every pint every week. Again, that drop is tomorrow on Wednesday. And the Super Witch soft serve by the Il Supremo Pizza in Old Metairie just kills it. I went by there a few weeks ago on a Sunday night at 8:30 on a Sunday night. They close at 9. There were 75 people outside waiting in line. 75. No, this product, just people love it. I went on the website last week and I had to really use some, discipline to not order ice cream. Because when I did order a pint, I went and picked it up and I ate about 80% of that pint in one sitting. Hey, if you need air conditioning or heat help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. That's all you have to do. I don't know about you. I don't want to learn about air conditioning. It's nice that Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys are honest and incapable of screwing you around. So I don't have to learn about AC. I can unequivocally trust them. I've trusted Lucas for like 20 years now. He installed the system in my house, at my brother's house, at my sister's house, at my mom's house. Friends and family, Lucas taking care of all of them, taking care of them like he'll take care of you. I don't get any special treatment. I get the treatment that you'll get. No, I don't want to learn about air conditioning, so I want someone honest. I want someone that comes right away because my AC or heat's not working right. Want to get that problem fixed immediately, yesterday. 30-plus techs, 30-plus trucks. No one knows more, does it better. And they diagnose it right the first time. They're not trying to figure it out. I had a breakdown. Lucas diagnosed it over the phone, and he was right. If you need air conditioning or heat help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. That's their website. TM-AC.com. That's Total Maintenance. New Orleans and Baton Rouge, they got you covered. Oh, by the way, Total Maintenance is an advertiser on the program. They pay to have ads on the show. Super Witch is not an advertiser on the program. I was just telling you about this Super Witch ice cream, like I was telling you about Creole Creamery. I think those are just really, really good products. Creole Creamery does really, really well. I know they've got one now in Bay St. Louis. I go to the one occasionally in Lakeview, and I'll hit that one in the old Mackenzie's on Britannia in Uptown. They know what they're doing at Creole Creamery. There's different, ways of marketing the same product. Like there's this New Orleans ice cream, which is in a pint, and it's at the grocery store. And it's got the NOLA, the street tiles for the name. And they've got probably 6, 8, 10 different flavors, maybe more. New Orleans ice cream is really, really a good product. The only place you can get it is at the store, like you buy it by the pint. Then you have Creole Creamery, which doesn't serve any ice cream by the pint. You go in there and get scoops on a cone, or get a sundae or a banana split or whatever. Get a cup of ice cream, 2 scoops, whatever. You go to the physical location. And then Super Witch basically does it all online. Same product, quote, ice cream, all high quality. I think all are really good. And all three market it and promote it entirely differently. Just pretty interesting, I think. Yeah, by the way, like my restaurant reviews, my restaurant top 40 restaurants in New Orleans list, the absolute best restaurants in the city. That ice cream thing I'm telling you about, the New Orleans ice cream at the grocery store, the Creole Creamery, Super Witch, they're outstanding, like special products, like special. Hey, the Cubes are out for Jazz Fest. Speaking of special, 4 weeks from this Thursday, weekend number 1. We knew the acts. Now we know the stages, the days, the times. Yeah, can you believe French Quarter Fest 3 weeks from Thursday? Jazz Fest weekend number 1, 4 weeks from Thursday. Jazz Fest weekend number 2, 5 weeks from Thursday. Boom, boom, boom. 3 weeks in a row. French Quarter Fest, Jazz Fest weekend 1, Jazz Fest weekend 2. By the way, Jazz Fest weekend 1, smack dab in the middle of that 3-week run. Also the Zurich Classic of New Orleans at the TPC over there in Avondale. Now, that's all coming your way. 23 days away from French Quarter Fest day 1. And then it's 3 weeks in a row, starting on Thursdays. I mean, there's more partying than work days. You got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then Thursday through Sunday is French Quarter Fest and Jazz Fest for 3 straight weeks. Gotta love it. Toss in the PGA Tour stop. I highly recommend going at least one day out there. Tough to beat New Orleans. We're hitting our stride. I mean, Mardi Gras was just a few weeks ago, a month ago, 4 weeks ago. Now we're 4 weeks away from more festivals and partying. What we do best in New Orleans, no doubt about it. I'll tell you something we do really, really well in New Orleans. One place, at least, for eyewear, Art and Eyes on Magazine. Over 4,000 frames to choose from. Before you go spend hundreds of dollars at the mall or some strip mall or some chain store from around the country, Google Art and Eyes on Magazine. Over 4,000 frames to choose from. Prescription eyewear, sunglasses, Art and Eyes on Magazine. Google them. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Ted's Frost Stop on Claiborne's since 1955, 71 years. They're not going out of business. Tulane bought the building, apparently, is tearing it down. They're building student housing there. But they're going to have some retail on the first floor. The anchor tenant, Ted's Frost Stop in the new building. That's pretty cool stuff. I was just telling Mario a few minutes ago, it might be Trey Yen for dinner tonight. I've got an inkling for Trey Yen. One of the best seafood restaurants in the city, clearly. I say that year round. But during Lent, you can get some absolutely fantastic seafood at Trey Yen in Mandeville. Tonight for dinner, Trey Yen in Mandeville.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
'Cause I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
You can say anything you please about me, but don't say anything bad about Blue Boy.
Down, Blue Boy. Good buddy. Oh, Blue Boy, the best. Yeah, you're right. 5 o'clock powwow on a Tuesday. Social media is so funny. Just radio in general, just what I do for a living, opinions can be misconstrued, can be interpreted wrong. I just happened to be going out by Young's Dry Cleaning's facility on Franklin and Fillmore. I took Lakeshore Drive to Franklin, had to make a phone call. It's like, I'm going to take a drive on Lakeshore Drive. No stoplights. Might add 5 minutes to the trip. It'll be a lot more pleasant. So I took Lakeshore Drive to Franklin. And I turned on Franklin, and the UNO Lakefront Arena was there, and I just shot a little video of it. It's an impressive building, the UNO Lakefront Arena. It just kind of, you come over that hill from Lakeshore Drive, it just emerges right there. And I just shot a little video, posted it on Twitter, on all social media platforms, actually, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It's like a 2-minute clip. And I just said, the UNO Arena was built with the NBA in mind. And the point was, if you look at the UNO Arena, it's got that like roof that sits on top the building that's like wider than the building. If you notice the 4 ramps that lead into the building, there's like pilings that they're like higher than the ramps. Now, that's just like architectural. That's how they plan it. Or you could be like, wow, is that so they can build more ramps to go higher? And that's exactly why those pilings jut out above the 4 ramps. And the roof is bigger than the building because the roof essentially is designed to come off of the building, and an upper deck could be added to the UNO Lakefront Arena, increasing its capacity from maybe 10,000 seats to 18 or 20,000 seats, making it NBA ready. So when Senator Nat Kiefer Sr. and the powers that be got the UNO Lakefront Arena built, it was designed with like 2 phases. What you see right now is phase 1. It's like the Galleria in Metairie. The Galleria building on Causeway and I-10. If you notice that front part with the grass in front and the kind of the gray paint, not glass windows. The Galleria building in Metairie, that is the center of what is supposed to be 2 more buildings added. Like that's just the middle of the building. There's supposed to be a building in front on I-10 and a building behind on the other side. But it was never built. I don't think it ever will be built. But that really is like phase 1 of what would be phase 2 and maybe even phase 3 of the Galleria project in Metairie. Phase 1 is all we have. And you can tell with that flat facade that something else was supposed to be built there. Plus the parking garage, they used like maybe a third of it because it's built to handle parking for the other 2 buildings that were eventually going to be built that never were. The UNO Lakefront Arena is the same thing. What we see, what exists, just like the Galleria, phase 1. Phase 2 would be adding more ramps to get to an upper deck above the existing building, increasing the attendance. So I'm strictly just posting that. I guess the timing's a little weird with the Smoothie King Center, redo plans being released over the weekend by the Times-Picayune, that public records request. Folks thought some folks, I think most folks caught the gist of it. That was just, hey, here's the UNO Lakefront Arena. It's actually designed where they could expand it. It was designed with NBA in mind. A lot of folks thought I was insinuating like, hey, the Pelicans, don't redo the Smoothie King Center. Redo, UNO and move out there. I wasn't saying that at all. And there's no plans to redo the UNO Lakefront Arena or expand it. But it is a great building, and it was well designed. And it got a nice redo with insurance money, FEMA money, post-Katrina. So in the last 15 years, it's had a lot of money invested in it. About 15 years ago. Anyway, no, I was not implying move the NBA franchise out to UNO. But the Hawks, back in 1985, were redoing their then home, the Omni, and they played 10 home games at the UNO Lakefront Arena, including one against Larry Bird and the Celtics, where Bird scored the most points he's ever scored in an NBA game. He did it at the UNO Lakefront Arena, 60 points against the Hawks. Go to YouTube and check out that video. Have you ever seen this video, Mario?
Yeah, that's like UNO lore. That's,
Where the Hawks players are falling over each other, like on the edge of the bench, because they're blown away by Bird just making shots everywhere.
Yeah, Larry
everything
Legend's-
going in.
Larry Legend going off in that game.
No, he was going off on that game.
Yeah, that's a good trivia question that a lot of people get wrong.
No, totally.
Like, where did Larry Bird score his career high points?
Yeah, they know it's against the Hawks, maybe. You know, they maybe mistakenly think the Omni or in Boston, but it was at the UNO Lakefront Arena,
No Magic City night that night for the Hawks.
which was built to expand to maybe 18 or 20,000 seats, NBA ready. I mean, you can look at the building and see the roof, how it's bigger than the rest of the building, but you know, you could go, that's just architectural. But what really gives it away for me are the ramps. Those 4 ramps, you can see the pilings sticking up above where they could go, you know, higher. Hey, tonight for dinner, how about the patio at Katie's in Mid-City? With this weather, outdoor dining, the patio at Katie's. I had Scott Craig on the program Friday. 7 fresh fish were being served at Katie's. Always 4, 5, 6, 7 different fish being served at Katie's. Very Lent ready for you. And with that patio, outdoor dining tonight. This weather, get outside and enjoy it. Katie's in Mid-City tonight for dinner. That's Blue Boy barking up a storm. Do it, Blue Boy. Do it, buddy. What? Thank everybody for checking us out. And remind them to join us tomorrow, a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. See you tomorrow right here, 4 p.m.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.